Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now guys, I don't want to keep you waiting because what's happening right now in the NFL, especially around the Steelers, is genuinely exciting. We've seen some major moves in the league, and one of the most intriguing developments involves the Green Bay Packers, who just made a blockbuster trade that could have ripple effects across the AFC North and beyond. The Packers, in a bold move, went out and traded for Micah Parsons. Yes, the star linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys. But what's even more interesting is how this impacts other teams, especially the Steelers. They didn't just acquire Parsons. They gave up 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, a key defensive player, to seal the deal. That's a huge price, and it signals that the Packers are all in this season, trying to make a serious push for the Super Bowl. See, this move tells us a lot about the Packers' mindset. They're not messing around. They're investing heavily in their defense, trying to bolster their pass rush and run-stopping ability with Parsons, who's proven to be one of the most disruptive defensive players in the league. But here's where it gets really interesting for the Steelers. After trading for Parsons, the Packers didn't stop. They immediately extended him to a 4-year, $188 million contract extension, making him one of the highest-paid defenders in NFL history. That's a sign that they see him as a cornerstone, someone they want to build their defense around for years to come. Now here's the catch. This move directly affects the Packers' future cap space and their ability to keep other talented players. For example, Christian Watson, the young and explosive wide receiver who's been making waves in Green Bay, might be on the trading block if the Packers decide they can't afford to extend him. Watson, who's just 26 years old and showed flashes of brilliance in his early NFL career, 611 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2022, could be a prime target for teams looking to add a dynamic receiver with experience playing alongside Aaron Rodgers. And folks, here's where the Steelers come into this picture. Pittsburgh has been in a bit of a holding pattern with their wide receiver core. They traded for DK Metcalf, which initially seemed like a major upgrade, but then they made some tough decisions, trading away George Pickens and releasing Robert Woods. Now, their depth chart is pretty thin, with Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, and Ben Skowronek. It's not exactly the star-studded group you'd want to rely on, especially when you're trying to support a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's known for his precision and high expectations. This is where Christian Watson could come in, and let me tell you, he's been impressing everyone during the first week of training camp. Even though he's not fully practicing yet, he's been very involved, staying close to his group of wide receivers. That kind of dedication speaks volumes about his commitment to recovery and his desire to contribute this season. You don't see that every day, especially with a player who's coming back from injury. It's a clear sign that Watson is motivated to make an impact, and for the Steelers, acquiring someone like him could be a game changer. Think about it. Watson's chemistry with Rodgers, even if it was just from 2022 to 2023, was enough to show his potential. During that season, he hauled in 41 receptions for 611 yards and scored 7 touchdowns. That kind of production, combined with his youth, makes him an attractive target for the Steelers. They need a reliable, experienced receiver who can step in quickly and help take some pressure off the young receivers and rookie quarterback, or in this case, the veteran Rodgers. Imagine Watson lining up alongside Metcalf, giving the Steelers a formidable duo that defenses will have a tough time containing. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the Steelers' current situation? Well, they've been trying to rebuild and retool their roster, but the wide receiver position has been a concern for a while. They've got some promising young players, but consistency has been an issue. Trading for Watson, especially if the Packers decide to move him, makes a lot of sense. He's shown he can make plays. He's got that speed and size that Steelers fans love, and he already understands the system, having played with Rodgers. That familiarity could help him transition smoothly into the Steelers' offense. And let's not forget the broader context. The AFC North is getting more competitive by the year. The Cincinnati Bengals are a powerhouse, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are always dangerous, and now with the Browns adding more talent, especially if Deshaun Watson can find his form again, the division is shaping up to be a real dogfight. The Steelers know they need to make bold moves if they want to stay competitive, and acquiring a receiver like Christian Watson could tip the scales in their favor. But it's not just about adding a talented player. It's about strategic moves, about making sure the team is set up for success long-term. The Steelers have always been known for their solid drafting and smart trades, and this situation with Watson could be another example of that. Imagine a Steelers offense with a young, explosive receiver who already has chemistry with Rodgers, combined with the veteran leadership of players like Kenny Pickett, if he's still the quarterback by then, or whoever they decide to start. That would give them a much-needed boost in the passing game, which has been somewhat inconsistent in recent seasons. And we should also consider the cap implications. The Packers investing heavily in Parsons means they might have to make some tough decisions soon, possibly moving on from players like Watson if they can't extend him. For the Steelers, this represents a golden opportunity to strike. They could potentially negotiate a trade that benefits both sides, getting a talented receiver who's eager to prove himself, while the Packers clear some cap space and move forward with their new defensive star. Now, speaking of the Steelers' current roster, it's worth noting that they've been building a solid foundation on defense, but offensively, they need that spark. Christian Watson could be that spark. His youth, combined with the experience he gained playing with Rodgers, makes him a perfect fit for Pittsburgh. Plus, the Steelers have always been a team that values strong, reliable offensive weapons. Think about how a player like Watson, with his ability to stretch the field and make big plays, could open up the offense for other skill players and give Kenny Pickett or whoever's under center more options. The potential fit is undeniable, and it really points to the fact that the Steelers need to be aggressive this season. The AFC North is no longer a division where you can sit back and hope for the best. Teams are making bold moves, and Pittsburgh has to respond in kind. Whether it's through trades, draft picks, or free agent signings, they must ensure their offense is dynamic enough to compete with the best. Watson's familiarity with Rodgers and his proven production in Green Bay make him a prime candidate to fill that role. To sum things up, the NFL landscape right now is shifting, and the Steelers are right in the middle of it. The move by the Packers to acquire Micah Parsons and the subsequent extension shows how serious they are about contending. But it also opens doors for other teams, including Pittsburgh, to capitalize on opportunities. Christian Watson, with his youth, talent, and chemistry with Rodgers, could be exactly what the Steelers need to elevate their offense and stay ahead in this fiercely competitive division. It's a story that's still unfolding, and I, for one, am excited to see how it all develops in the coming weeks. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this situation? Do you think the Steelers should make a move for Christian Watson? Would he be a perfect fit in your eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates on this story and all the latest Steelers news, so stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this community growing stronger than ever.